It's Loving the Strange with Carrie Jones and Shaun Farrar. Loving the Strange, a podcast for weirdos and those who want to be weirder. Embrace the strange. New episodes every Saturday, live streaming Fridays. Loving the Strange. Check us out. Hey, Shaun.
Hey, baby.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you? I don't know if there's any people online yet, but if there are, I want them to know.
Yeah.
What is this, episode 19?
It is potentially episode 19, and the amazing Dee Harris is here.
Yeah. Dee Harris. This is, I believe, episode 19 of our podcast, Living the Strange, and it's the first time that Carrie got us live from the get-go. You did a great job, baby. I just want to make note of your accomplishment.
My techie skills are not high, but yes, I managed this time. I'm sure I'll mess something up eventually, though. But this episode, what? What are you gonna make on me?
I was gonna say it's also the first time I realized how long our little countdown thing is.
We have a countdown in the beginning of the podcast if you haven't seen it, and it's like 30 seconds, and it's like boom, 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 and it just goes on. That 30 seconds is like your last 30 seconds, and the couch to 5K interval running, and you're like, I can't make it another. Yeah, like this 30 seconds is 8 hours long, and I can't possibly make it. And that's what the intro is like. When you listen to the whole thing, when I managed to do all the techie stuff appropriately.
You did it tonight perfectly, baby. You get a gold star.
Yeah. Yay.
Gold star.
So hey, Kara, hey, Doug, hey, Dee, hey, Kate. It's so good to have you all here. Tonight, episode 19 is allegedly about Carrie wearing a hat, but also about Shaun making grimacy faces, but also about... Oh, this is not going to be a good podcast if I can't get you under control.
I will tell you after you finish your diatribe. Go ahead.
Diatribe?
I mean your
diatribe. Is that a kind word to say to your wife when she's merely trying to?
I don't even know what it means. I know it just means something verbal. So I tried. It's
a really negative word, baby. It's really.
I was going for extra credit.
Yeah, you failed. Like, you don't get the extra credit if you don't use the word correctly. But a diatribe, I feel like I might go on a diatribe right now, but it is like angry, bitter, verbal attack full of force against someone or something.
So anytime you're talking to me other than when we're doing this podcast.
So rude.
I'm just kidding.
You are such a lying liar who lies. Anyways, we're going to ignore the fact that Shawnee is a lying liar who lies. And instead, we're going to talk about what? Do you remember what the podcast is even about, babe?
Yeah, it's what people do to bring themselves good luck.
That's right. Do you do anything to bring yourself good luck?
I wake up next to you every morning, baby.
My word. Oh, my word. That's so bad.
What?
It's just trying so hard. It's like trying so hard that it doesn't even like feel anywhere near authentic.
When it's so spontaneous, how can it be trying at all? It's just natural. Because it's the truth. The truth always flows like a river, natural and steady.
You know what the truth flows like? It flows like someone who's never had spicy food before, and they go to Aruba and they go to an Indian restaurant, and then they have some poop. That's what it flows like, babe. That's what it flows like.
Look, Doug's got my back.
That's because Doug loves you. He doesn't love me. So anyway.
So you know what I was doing before when I was making the faces?
We're supposed to talk about good luck.
I cannot make a straight smile. No matter how hard I try.
You've got a crooked mouth. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you're lying out half of it. Like, being your
we're supposed to be talking about
good luck. A long time ago. A long time ago. Are you ready? Because this is kind of sad.
Is this about me?
Yes. A long time ago, back in the days of live journal, so like 10 years ago, right? I posted a bunch of photos I took like in the day, and one was of you. And I'm like, hey, writing prompts. What do you all think of these people or like these faces or these incidents, you know? And the picture of you, everyone was like, oh, that's a car salesman.
What? Hey, I've never heard this story before, people.
Because I love you.
She's been holding this back all these years. And something I've done in the last 5 minutes has made her think that I deserve to be crapped on.
I think it's just because you had a nice crooked smile. It was kind of funny.
Oh, because of my crooked smile?
I think it was your crooked smile.
You know, I hate car salesmen. No offense to anybody if you're a car salesperson.
That's a generalization, bigotry that you should not have. There's many a good car salesman out there in this world.
Yeah, I know. They're always better when we say we're going to pay cash.
No, they're always worse when we tell them we're going to pay cash.
No.
The last time I bought a car, let me just explain to everyone. The last time I bought a car, I bought all by myself. And I was a woman. I still am. I walked into this dealership, right? I'm like, they're not going to give me a good deal. I didn't just feel it, but I'm going to make them give me a good deal, right? And my dad is like, oh, Carrie, you shouldn't go in there without a man. And Sean's like, just email me or message me, like if you need help. Text me, whatever. And so I'm like,
oh, great.
I go in there and they like didn't offer me anything. And they're like, you're not going to get like financing? And I'm like, no, I'm going to pay cash. And they're like, you're going to pay cash? I'm like, yeah, and I want a deal. And they're like, no, you can't have a deal. And I was like, then I'm walking out. And I walked out because I was so mad at them. Like just so mad. And I called you, I think, and you talked me through it in the parking lot. And then I went back in. I'm like, I'm seriously like ridiculously angry at how you all are treating me. And they're like, okay, fine. We'll give you a little bit of a deal. And I'm like, is this just because I'm not doing financing and you're not making extra money? And they were basically like, yeah.
You did a really, really good job. You got exactly the price that the internet said you should have paid for it and considered to be a good deal.
I know, but they weren't going to do that for me. I had to leave. Out and leave. I had to leave the building.
I know I told you this before, and you must have forgotten. It's all part of the game. It's just
a stupid game.
No, they want. If you're gonna fold right away, they'll take your extra money. Who wouldn't?
It was frustrating.
That's why they
talking in the chat. We're boring everybody. We should talk.
That's why they play the whole. I got to go talk to my sales manager thing. It's all BS. Anyways, let's talk about luck.
All right.
I think
you want to start?
Bored people to death with our anecdotes.
I know. Nobody wants to hear about how the car guy was a jerk and I had to walk out. Oh, that's a lot of noise of papers, baby.
Well, I thought it was very important that we start off with the definition of luck.
Oh, and where are you taking this definition of luck from?
From the day I met you, baby.
See, this is it. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
What?
It just doesn't feel sincere, honey. And the lack of sincerity makes it feel like you really think the opposite.
It's hard to be sincere on this Wi-Fi born platform. Look, I got another. Woo,
all right, so other people think you might be sincere. I just have my doubts.
Anyways, I'm smooth like melted chocolate.
It's good to see you, Brynn. Who said
The definition
tell
of
us the
luck.
definition.
It is a force that brings good fortune or adversity. But we're only being positive tonight. We're talking about good fortune and good luck, right?
Yes.
Well, that's what we agreed upon. But if you want to break that rule, go right ahead.
No.
You're my wife, after all. The events or circumstances that operate for or against an individual.
And that's luck.
Yeah, that was number 2. that was actually 1B. Number 2 is favoring chance. I can't even respond to that. I'll get in trouble.
So Doug Marshall said that his way of avoiding bad luck is, quote, don't call women baby. And Doug has said that in the chat.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you, Doug, that I have edited many a romance novel in which every single line has the word baby in it. Baby can be overdone.
Heck yeah, it can, baby.
It can. Oh boy. So everybody in our friends circle makes fun of Shawnee because Shawnee says, like, he'll call to me and he'll be like, baby girl. And like everybody does it. Like they all do his voice and everything. They'll be like, baby girl. And it's ridiculous. But he gets away from it with it. And some of our female friends actually find it endearing and adorable.
As should you. Gosh, dang it. Anyways, number 3, definition of luck.
And where are these from again?
One of them dictionaries. The big
Shawn,
ones.
I
gave you the link.
That doesn't mean you get to forget.
I gave you the link.
Oh, my word. Okay, let me look it through. It's Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
Thanks, love.
You're welcome. Saving us from lawsuits every day.
That was hard, huh?
Yeah,
Number 3, to prosper or succeed, especially through chance or good fortune.
oh.
And number 4, to come upon something desirable by chance. Like it was just my good luck that I stumbled upon Carrie.
Oh my God. Oh, Brynn said one of the dictionaries. I love this. Welcome to the world of Shaun, Brynn. Welcome.
Let's just make it clear to any listener that is a writing professional. I am not. I have a certain editing talent that I do help Carrie out with once in a while, but professional I am not. I mean, writing professional I am not.
Oh, it's all right. It's all good. So let's try to circle round and bring it back like we're a professional podcast or something, which we're apparently.
This is so boring.
No. You know what somebody once said about me speaking? Kara, first off, Kara Sawyer said, he's just laying it on way too thick tonight. I agree, Kara. I think that he's got some motives going on. But let me just say that as a speaker,
goodness of my heart.
Oh, jeez. As a speaker without Shaun on a stage in front of hundreds to thousands of people, what I've noticed is that people enjoy it, not because I'm a professional, because I'm not, but because, as someone once told me, it's like watching Janis Joplin and you're like, oh God, is she going to fall off the stage? What horrible thing is going to go wrong? And I kind of feel like our podcast has a little bit of that energy,
That's
what will Shaun say? Will Carrie never talk to Shaun again? Do they really love each other? How are these people married? There's all these questions that anybody who's hanging out with us might wonder,
Yeah.
Is Shaun sincere? Or is he lying like a car salesman trying to not get you to pay cash and do financing?
You know what? I'd make a horrible car salesman.
Really?
Because I'd be like, you could buy this for $2,000 cheaper down the street. Drive down there. They're more lenient. Come on.
I don't know. All right. Anyways.
I feel like Carden just threw out a challenge.
Carden said, but it makes it so entertaining and wholesome.
Therein lies the challenge.
That's a good word for Shaun right there. Anyways.
Right. Like white bread. Wholesome.
Dude. White bread has no nutrients. White bread, you just ball it up and it congeals, and it's just like this. It's not a wonder of a bread.
That's me, baby. I'm like this nice soft mattress.
Oh, all right. So Doug Marshall asked you a question, Shaun, from when you used to be a popo, and said Shaun is no longer a popo. Doug asked Shaun, what do cops do for luck when they head out on patrol? Shaun's like, nothing.
Yeah. Well, no, I really think, like, if you're like Catholic or something, and you wear, I think it's Saint Michael, which is a protector of something, first responders or law enforcement or something. You probably
Did you
rub
do
on
anything?
that. No, I didn't do anything.
You didn't like say a little silent prayer, do a little cross.
No, I kicked the
tap
door
the
open.
steering wheel 18 times, or
I kicked the door open and I said, "Whose night am I going to mess up tonight?"
He's lying. He's lying.
I'm kidding. My favorite part of being a police officer ever was interacting with the public and people, and just seeing all sides of humanity. I never did anything for good luck, except no, I did nothing. Nothing. I just had faith in my abilities.
There's this really great video of that Shaun showed to our Rotary Club of like, it's very funny talking about the time when you were a cop, babe, because like, even though you were a sergeant and you did all this stuff, like, as you say, every freaking time I ask you, you're like, yeah, I don't miss that at all. Like, I'm so glad I'm not that anymore.
Yeah.
Although healthcare was nice, but like you never seem to miss it, and you don't really. I don't think, as much as I love other people in law enforcement agencies and firefighters and emergency dispatches, I don't think that you ever quite fit in. No offense. And that's okay. You're from Florida. You're not meant to fit in Maine. But like the whole point is that what I loved was there was this one video that Shaun showed to our Rotary Club of
we are also no longer in Rotary.
We're no longer Rotary either. But anyways, Shaun showed this video to our Rotary Club of them stopping a guy in a car at a motel or a hotel or somewhere. And the guy was basically trying to run over everybody. And like one of the cops is just like all psyched out and all geared up and like super aggressive and scared. Like you can tell this cop is scared and like all the adrenaline's going. Another cop looked vaguely terrified. And Shaun, who is the cop in charge, is just like, he's got his like hand in the window. The car's trying to run him over. And he's just chill. Like so chill. Like, it's like, yeah, whatever. Like there's like this weird confidence that you had and kindness that is unusual. And I think kept you lucky as a cop, honestly. You didn't have to deal with a lot of bad things almost. But in a certain way, since we're talking about luck, I think that your attitude allowed you to not have to deal with a lot of bad things. Like you weren't ever looking to prove anything because you have that innate confidence. You know, you weren't ever looking to, hey, you've got pot, I'm going to arrest you, because you don't care that somebody has pot. Like it wasn't like what you were, and it's not who you are. And I think that made you kind of a good cop in our community.
I think I was actually, but I did have a little bit of true luck in what you said. I never, excuse me, like I've seen plenty of death and dead bodies and stuff, but I never once in my almost 20-year career did I cover a fatal accident.
And that's so weird. Like that's just ridiculous.
No, never once did I even respond to a fatal accident.
And that's weird.
Be the officer that had to do all the paperwork.
Like I think that as a non-cop human being, I've seen more fatals than you have as a cop. Like I've found dead bodies. I've seen them as a kid, like outside my house in the like I was the first person on scene for an accident. Like as a reporter, I found a dead guy under a building. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you saw them, but like, I think that it's just so bizarre that they weren't a big thing that happened to you. You're lucky duck. Shaun is lucky though.
Well, I
He
dealt
has
with a
me.
lot of dead bodies and suicides, but
Yeah, but
not
you haven't had that
accident.
Yeah.
The fact that I never responded to a fatal accident, to me, is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
Because in 20 years, and we have how many we have on around here every year, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's amazing. Like, that was so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Brynn said, can imagine coming from Florida, Shaun, where it seems a little crazy, cough, cough, to Maine, where it might be lucky too. I think it is.
I want to say I was not a cop in Florida, but just life that applies to life just in general, because life in Florida is a lot more busy and crazy than it is up here. That's for sure.
Yeah. Cardin said, as long as cops are a thing in our society, I wish there were more cops like you, Shaun. Compassion and kindness is so important to healing communities. Cardin, that's so true. Okay, Shaun, one more cop story. And I promise I'll stop. I know you hate them.
We're supposed to be talking about luck.
Well,
It's all Doug's fault.
It is all Doug's fault, but I'm gonna tie it all in. You ready? Because after I do this, it'll tie in. I may be remembering this story incorrectly because it's secondhand. But there was a kid who was suicidal or angry at his mom or something, and Shaun talked to him and like wrote him a note or something about a whole bunch of stuff. And everybody thought this kid was kind of a write-off, right? And Shaun was at the grocery store one day, I think in another town, and the kid's mom came to him.
Walmart.
Oh, I'm sorry. Walmart, not the grocery store. And what did the kid's mom say to you, babe, since you remember the story?
You're telling the story.
I know, but it's secondhand, man.
She actually says this every time I run into her, which has been about 4 times now. And this is probably,
That's so sweet.
It's probably 15 years ago. And it was her, it's both her son and her daughter.
Oh.
And her son wasn't doing anything so drastic. They were just fighting. Like she just was at her wit's end as a single parent. But every time I run into her, every time I run into her, she gives me an update on both of her kids' lives and how they've made their way through schools and colleges and what they're doing. And she says it's all because of me. And that day I came over and talked to them.
And what did they do in his locker? What did he have in his locker?
I don't remember.
He had a list of the things you told him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really did spend a lot of time at their house.
Did it smell good? Was it like cozy? Or
no, just talking.
Was the mom really hot? Like, what was
just
that
talking to the kids?
So
that's an investment in your community.
But the point is that and how cool is it to be Shaun and have this random lady be like, every time he sees her at Walmart or the grocery store, tell him that, right? Which he promptly forgets right away because he's like me and we always forget the good things people say. And to know that you made a difference. But luck is kind of about that to me. When luck is about, there's a great post, I think on BAKADESUYO.com that lists the 4 things about how to give yourself better luck. And one of those is to maximize the opportunity. So every time when Shaun was a cop, or every time us as people that we interact with others, that means we have the opportunity not to create possibilities for our own selves, but also possibilities for others. Every time we're open to a new experience, every time we're open to listening and connecting with another person, that can build our luck and our possibilities in the future, right?
Yeah.
And another way to Shaun, another way to increase your luck is to listen to your gut and your hunches, right? You want to try to pay attention to what your inner voice is telling you. And then the third part is to be not a Debbie Downer in worst case scenario like me sometimes, but to actually be optimistic, to think, oh, this could turn out to be really cool. Like when we started this podcast, I'm like, oh my God, Shaun's going to get us in so much trouble because he has no filter. And instead, it's actually really fun, right? So it's
far,
like,
so good.
so far, so good. Although now we've outed you as a cop, so it's probably all over. But expecting good fortune, according to the Bacca di
But I'm not.
Not anymore. Happily not anymore. But it says that optimism gives lucky people more grit. So when you think things will work out, you persevere. And when you're resilient, you give possibilities more time to work in your favor. So skeptics, they say, might be shaking their head at that. And think that people who are optimistic are just deluded, right? And I've had a lot of times in my life where I've had people not take me seriously because I've been positive or a Pollyanna or, any kind of degrading thing you can say about somebody who's exuberant, right? And then Shaun deals with me as Carrie worst case scenario in real life. So he's like, wait, what? But the point is that...
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Okay. But the point is that having that attitude, that belief that, I can expect good things doesn't have to let you down because the good things don't happen, but can actually like help you perform better. And when you wish somebody else luck, it can help them do better. And that, like, even if you're so overconfident that it's irrational, you actually can be more productive and bring your team together, right? So it's really interesting that way. Like, you can deceive yourself into believing, oh yeah, everything's good. And that can help you deal with pain tolerance, reducing your stress. That positive self-bias can help create good outcomes. And it can even make you feel in control in the world and the life where so often it feels like you're not in control. Was that too heavy? I feel like that was too heavy. Nobody's commenting
was
anymore.
that all a quote?
No, that was me summarizing and also adding my own stuff. But we will have the source in the thing.
They'll come back. Yeah, you should.
All right, let's talk about sex or something so everybody comes back.
What? What is this word you speak of?
Shut up. So anyways, hey. So a while when I told everyone
wait,
stop laughing.
I got a joke.
No, I don't think we can have that joke.
No,
No, whatever that joke is.
It's an acronym for not an acronym. It's a synonym for anniversary. Get it? Never mind. Once a year, whatever. I love you.
I don't even know anymore. I write children's books.
You said it, not me.
Okay, whatever. So before going back around.
Yeah.
When I said what our topic was, Dee Harris, who I adore, as Dee knows, gave me an example of one of the things she does for good luck. And you ready?
Back on the subject matter.
Yeah,
awesome.
I circled this background. So Dee said, I was always told that you never wash clothes on New Year's Day because you'd wash away good luck. So all my laundry is done by 10 p.m. on the 31st of December. Ooh.
Dang.
Yeah. But
That's awesome.
I don't think... What?
Here's the thing. I have a whole list of luck in the New Year's things, and I didn't even know if I want to read them because I feel like we're going to end up doing 75% of these things next
Do you want me to just list the things I already do?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Okay,
That's why I'm hesitant to add any new ideas to your list.
Okay. On New Year's Day, I do not do the laundry because I learned that if you do the laundry on New Year's Day, you wash away all your money and all your luck. I do not.
I think I did the laundry last New Year's. That's what happened.
Well, it's your luck, not mine, babe. So I also I also learned that you do not clean on New Year's Day because that means you're going to just be stuck cleaning all year, or you cleaning away your money.
Why don't you tell me these secrets? You doomed me to hell. You saw me cleaning on New Year's Day. You didn't say nothing.
You do not clean on New Year's Day, you liar.
Dang.
Hopping John. You got to eat Hopping John so you can get the money. You have to eat 12 grapes at midnight. You have to kiss someone you love at midnight, or at least someone you tolerate. You have to smash. What? What are you trying to say?
I just realized you're trying to kill me with that 12 grape thing. You're legitimizing it right now because I've come close to choking to death like 3 years in a row. So
well, you had to try to do it in a minute.
Now you're like, I know, that's why I choke. All right, go ahead.
It's like kiss, eat the grapes. That's how you do it in this household.
You might want to take out a life insurance policy, baby.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It'll up the worth.
That would be lucky of me. You want to smash your peppermint pig. You want to wear your yellow underwear if you want some money in the year. And we always burn our wishes, right? Like we make our wishes for the year and then we burn it on the driveway, and it's usually like snowing or raining.
It's a 30-gallon metal trash can full of wishes.
And my Portuguese grandmother, she would always throw water out the window and she would sprinkle sugar outside. And I have not made you do that yet. So I think that you should be kind of like,
dude, you just ate through half of my list, so that's all right.
Dude, I'm sorry. It's just how superstitious a woman you live with. John Bell said, I always throw my change all around on the ground so people will find it. John Bell will
John,
find
you
it
need
for
to move
good
up
luck.
to Bar Harbor, Maine, so I can start following you around.
We can make so much money walking around behind John Bell.
I don't even carry cash.
He said, I think that brings me good luck, and I don't like change jingling around in my pocket. That's so funny.
Oh, wait, you skipped
I learned that
one.
you can
two.
I'll go back. I learned that you can only pick up the pennies if they're a certain way. Like if their heads are up. But if their tails down, they're unlucky.
I was taught that as well, but I'm too cheap now. I pick them all up.
Doug Marshall says you empty the pockets before you do laundry.
Empty the pockets? First thing you got to turn everything is right side out because apparently, never mind.
Oh boy!
Everybody in my house thinks they're firefighters, and they take their gear off by grabbing the waistband, and everything else comes with it. Woof.
That's right.
And then Laundry Man Shaun spends half his time turning things inside, right side out.
Baby, is that your new superhero name, Laundry Man Shaun?
That's right. I'll bury you in a pile of laundry.
Dee said, I've been told you have to eat black-eyed peas. LOL.
Hoppin' John, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are in the Hoppin' John, Dee. Like,
that is
I don't know how I'm not from the South because it has to happen. It just has to happen.
Every year, black-eyed peas.
Every year.
I love black-eyed peas.
He does love them more than everybody else. Everybody else in the house is like, all right, I'll have a bite just so I can make money this year. But of course, apparently
one of them's not working.
The theory behind the Hoppin' John is that the collard greens look like money, like dollar bills. You have this golden cornbread that looks like gold.
Gold coins.
The black-eyed peas look like coins. And so, there you go. It's like all this extra luck via you eating it. You know what I mean?
It's fantastic. And
every grape that you eat at midnight is supposed to give you a lucky year, right? And
is it 12?
Yeah, and each grape is a month. Right. So you have to eat all those grapes before the clock stops chiming, or else you get bad luck.
How come I'm the only one that always has seeded grapes?
We all have seeded grapes. You're just a baby about it, honey.
Anyways.
Dee doesn't do it because Dee hates black-eyed peas. Whoa, that was a big noise, baby.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's
See,
huge.
I don't know where the microphone is in my computer, so I'm
Apparently right near your papers.
Do you know where the dozen grapes is from?
I think it's from Spain.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, baby.
All right.
Told you were smart, girl.
Oh my gosh. I feel so validated now.
You should.
I do.
Everything
Do you know where
else-
Smashing the Peppermint Pig is from?
Oh my god, it's not even on my list, so no.
It's from New York. I think upstate New York.
I was gonna say it sounds like it's from America because it's purely for marketing.
Yeah.
What the heck does a peppermint pig and a little tiny metal hammer that comes with it
You're like,
have to do with New Year's Eve?
it's just about eating random candy and getting some good fortune, man. That's all that it is. What?
You gotta look at our comments.
Oh, well, honey, you have to say the comments out loud sometimes.
Well,
So
Cardi's-
Carden said, meanwhile, I've never heard of any of these. Carden, are you from the Midwest? Are you from a
do they not have any traditions
unsuperstitious
out there?
people? Yeah. You're not Portuguese. Like, I can't tell you how angry my aunties got when I tried to walk under a ladder. Like, it was the end of the world. Or if I stepped on a crack in the sidewalk, it was just like hellicious.
Do you know why they tell you that? It's just to get you to walk faster, so you step over the cracks. Picks up. I know, that's why I was laughing earlier.
Steve wrote, how about you read this one, baby? How about you?
I only crap in the stall at the end of the row, never in the middle if I can help it. It's bad luck.
See?
Well, you know,
People
the stall at the
even
end.
create poopy superstitions.
The stall at the end of the row is usually the handicap stall. Then that just gives him more room to take this robe. That's why he uses that one.
No, you should never use that stall because that's not meant for you. That's so unfair.
I know that.
Oh.
But why are you talking to me? Don't lecture me.
Carden has admitted that they are from Minnesota. Sorry, Carden, for calling you out.
Steve told me he goes in the big stall.
And Steve goes in the big stall, apparently. No judgment zone. No judgment zone. But
that's
anyways.
Right. It's a positive podcast.
It is. So, Shaun, do you do anything superstitious to try to give yourself some good luck? Really? You're so perfect. Are you from the Midwest?
I'm not perfect at all, but what do I do? Do you have any examples of me doing stuff for good luck?
You check all that.
That's personal
doors
safety.
And locks and windows.
That's not good luck. That is the avoidance of reliance on luck right there.
You
quadruple checking your stuff.
You triple check that the garage door is down and sometimes drive back. That's sort of superstitious, isn't it?
That's avoidance of luck. That's not to do with luck. That's more OCD.
So, yeah.
I'll admit it. I got a problem.
Do you pick up the pennies that are on the tail, or do you only pick up the pennies with the head?
No, I already told you I'm too cheap.
You really pick up both.
I don't pick the pennies because they're not worth anything anymore, but I pick up all other coinage regardless of how it's facing.
Steve is more helpful than you are right now. Steve said, I'd also always try to make, oh, look at that Shawnee face. I would also always try to make 2 shots in a row before leaving the gym. There, that's quasi-normal.
But I don't drink when I go to the gym, so I don't know how to.
That's not the shot to
I don't know how to beat that one. Oh, okay.
You mean basketball shots, baby. Basketball shots. Carden says, I only really knock on wood, and sometimes I pick up pennies. Other than that, nope.
I will confess, I think I've knocked on wood quite a few times.
I have seen you knock on wood, baby.
But I almost feel like I'm doing it for other people's benefit.
Mine.
Most of yours.
I am a great believer of throwing salt with your right hand over your left shoulder whenever you spill it, which is once a day for me. We have
Does
a
it count
very
if it
salty
all lands
floor.
on your shoulder, hun?
And today, like I did that. Like I legit spill salt every day. And I feel like Judas or something because I think that's where that originated. Like Judas spilled the salt in front of Jesus or something.
I don't know.
But I should really look it up. But anyways, I threw the salt over my shoulder and it all, like, I am so oblivious. I'm the most oblivious person. And later on, like, 10 minutes later, Sean's like, baby girl, what's all that on your shoulder? I'm like, oh,
Hey,
that salt that I missed.
Can you be quiet for 1 second?
I really want to.
Oh, that's just the birds. It's the birds. I thought I heard whistling in the background.
Brynn says, I knock on wood when someone says something about work being quiet. Oh, that makes
Me
sense.
too.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Wait, Sean, when you were a cop, you never had the, it's a full moon, it's going to be a crazy night superstition or anything like that?
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with luck.
Well, it's kind of bad luck to be on the night shift on the full moon.
I never had any issues with it. It might have been a little bit more busy in general, yeah, but who knows? You'd have to sit down and look at the data and count.
Did you ever do the padiddle thing?
Yeah, but not for luck. That was just an excuse to punch somebody in the arm.
So if you haven't ever heard of it, padiddle is something that some people do, maybe not Cardin. And it's like this thing that you do in the car in our family. And like you see a headlight, an oncoming car, and there's a headlight out, right? And if the headlight is out, you yell padiddle. And in our family, you punch the roof of the car, right? And if you don't, then you get bad luck, is what I grew up learning. But apparently the whole padiddle superstition is not that. According to the Grammar Phobia blog, link again in our podcast notes, it's like, I had to say that so we don't get sued. So it was, you see a car, the car has one working headlight, right? And then you yell, padiddle! But it started out as a courtship game by young people in a car together, right? And like in a 1959 that's some child yelling outside in the street on a bike, if you hear that. In 1959, Folklore from Kansas, a regional dictionary edited by William Koch that said, if a fellow sees a car coming with only one light and says padiddle, he may kiss his girl. If she sees it first and says padiddle, she may slap the boy.
What?
I know.
That's wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong on a violent and consent place. It's wrong on a gender role place.
It's wrong both ways, really. But
it's wrong it's wrong all over the place. Anyways, another place.
I've never been out with a chick and she said, "Hey, the headlights give you consent. Here's the chart. This means this. This means that."
If I say it first, I get to wallop you on the side of the head, and if you see it first, you get to smoocheroo,
or whatever.
Yeah, man. Dee said, this doesn't seem like a fair exchange. No, it doesn't. And anyways, that whole padiddle thing, like one of the earliest references to it was in a 1948 Archie comic strip. My mother insists that my mom's name was Betty, and she insists that Betty in the Archie comic strip was really named after her.
I don't think the math adds up, but anyway.
No, I don't think quite, because my mom was a little bit too young. Anyways, but they were from the same time, and my mom was a hottie, so she could have inspired some Bettiness. Anyways, in that Archie comic strip, right, it says let's play padiddle. When a car goes by with one headlight, if I say padiddle, you have to give me a kiss. And that was a line in the comic strip. And it was also in a 1940s song called Let's Play Padiddle, which sounds like a really
even
song.
the word is just wrong in and of itself. Padiddle. Padiddle. Excuse me while I go padiddle myself.
It sounds like you're gonna go pee, honestly.
Yeah,
like
something.
It sounds like, yeah. But it has somehow in our family morphed to, you see the car, you hit the roof of the roof of your mouth with your fist. You hit the roof of the car with your fist, and then you don't have bad luck. It's like a warding off of bad luck.
Where I grew up, the first person that said it was the only person that didn't get punched in the arm by the person that said it first.
So like a kissy bug.
Yeah.
Or punch bug. I'm sorry. In our family, because we're non-violent.
Same darn thing.
All right. So when you see a Volkswagen Bug, lots of people say punch buggy, and then they punch each other. But I was non-violent when Emily was growing up, my daughter. And so instead, we called it kissy bugs. And then we kissed each other.
That turned out well. She's
not that violent.
She's doing great. She's on a fantastic skyrocketing course of professionalism and careerdom. But she's pretty violent.
She's not violent. Not with other people. Like, she took Krav Maga and she has a punching bag thing, but she doesn't punch people in real life.
Well, not unless they're sparring or something, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. Dee said that doesn't seem like a fair exchange. Doug said my sister-in-law was an ER nurse and swears by the full moon thing.
Oh, everybody does. It's like pretty, I would say pretty much factual, but it's not. When you're here in Bar Harbor, Maine, it's not like you're in the big city and you're like, things are going to increase tenfold, so that means you actually might get shot at or something. You know what I mean?
It means like, oh, our emergency room will have one person in it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Steve said, I always look for the closest person to deck when VW Beetle goes by. Steve did not grow up in my nonviolent pacifist family.
No.
And Dee said, punch buggy, no take back, LOL. And also, teachers say it too. We hate full moon school days, LOL.
Oh,
am I the only person who, I can believe that about teachers. Am I the only person who took a violent thing and made it into a kissy thing?
Probably.
Meaning the punch buggy?
You do it all the time.
I'm weird.
You're just a pacifist, sort of.
Until I'm really, really angry at you. Then all bets are out.
Oh, let's talk about the other day. Wait. No, never mind.
Steve said the only thing we kissed was our fist before giving someone one. You can tell Steve's from Lower Massachusetts, man. Before he came to Maine. He's got that mask. He's got that mask thing going on.
He does. Yeah. Can't give it up, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Have you ever seen me try to punch anything? It's pretty funny. I really fail.
I have a lot.
All right, so Doug Marshall called it.
Beautiful face. It's been the victim of about 100 missed punches.
Such a liar. Doug Marshall said,
I'm not lying.
You're totally lying, and everyone knows it. Doug, you're doing your car salesman crap right now. Doug Marshall said, we called it slug bug, and you added the color of the VW. Doug, to be fair, in our family, we created a point system for kissy buggies. Again, kissy buggies, in which, like, if it was an older one, you got 2 points versus a new one. If it was a kissy buggy van, you got like 10 points. If it was a dealership, you got 50 points, but you had to yell rainbow. Like, we have a whole.
Oh yeah, they got. It's real intricate game. It's really, if you ride down the street with Carrie and Emily, her daughter, for the first time, and you're like on the interstate, you're gonna think they're just. What do you call it? What do you call that? mental health issue where you cuss a lot. Tourette's, but non-cussing Tourette's. You're just like, potato!
Get it on
your Scares the crap out of you, man.
It does. But it's all for good luck. You gotta make your own luck, man. You gotta make your own luck. Baby, we only have 10 minutes left of the podcast. Is there anything you'd like to say about luck? Or
Dude, we haven't hardly talked about luck at all.
I know, we failed.
Like all your New Year's Eve stuff.
That's all luck.
I got all this stuff loaded up like 4-leaf clovers.
Well, then talk about it. I talked about how to attract good luck. That was
lucky dice.
We'll talk about it. Tell us about the lucky dice.
I'm gonna find one that's interesting. The lucky number 7. I've never heard of number 7. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Really?
John Bell told us to quit while we're ahead. Maybe we should just end the podcast now.
In what? Quit while we're ahead with what?
I'm not sure if we're ahead of anything.
He must mean something else.
Steve said next episode Shaun should shave and a double mustache for good luck.
No way.
I think so, maybe.
No, because then I'd have to get rid of my little bit of beard here.
Oh, Brynn had a good one. Brynn said they're scared of driving, so they keep an Anubis statue in their car door for good luck. That makes sense to me. Driving can be scary. Unless you're Shaun. And that's like overly confident about everything that you do.
So that makes it not scary.
And all right, I'm gonna tell this.
No, if you're the passenger.
I'm just gonna tell the story of qualifying to drive an ambulance, which at one point in my life I did, right?
Oh yeah.
You have to go to the high school. You have to get in the ambulance. You have to drive through an obstacle course in the ambulance. For someone as short as myself, it was really hard to see in any of the mirrors for the ambulance. And there's a lot of backing up, etc. to do, right? I was wrecked. I was like shaking. I was a mess. And I had to half stand in the seat in order to get, even with the mirrors adjusted as low as possible, in order to see through the mirrors, right? All these other firefighting guys, like these volunteers are like, yeah, I'm going to drive they're all scared too. They're not as sucky as I am, but they're a little shaky. They're a little anxious. They're like talking the bravado, right? And then there's Shaun. And Shaun's like, yeah, I want to drive the ambulance. Carrie's here. I wanted to make sure she doesn't flirt with anybody. I'm going to be here and drive the ambulance.
No, I was there for a legit purpose.
Liar. Anyways, and so here's Shaun. Here's the steering wheel, right? It's got like this nice steering wheel. And he's got his hand just like casually over the steering wheel. The rest of us are like 10 and 2, steer. And there's Shaun. Everybody else is doing it 2 to 3 times before they pass. And there's Shaun not even really holding the steering wheel. Just his his wrist limply thrown over it with his giant monster hands and his giant monster height, using the rear view mirrors, goes through the whole thing in like less than a minute, passes first time. And I swear to God, everyone wanted to kill him. And that is the level of confidence that the Ferrari has.
Well, they do say you can create your own luck, you know.
And he did. He creates his own luck by being ridiculously
one hand on the wheel, the other one holding the Mike's Hard Lemonade Mango. Just driving the ambulance.
Doug Marshall asked if it was legit to pray for things that only benefit yourself. I don't know, Doug, but I know a lot of people do.
Yes. But you can make them all benefit other people and yourself at the same time.
Yeah. Like when I was a little kid, I used to pray every night, like, because I read this book called Ghost House, and it was by Peter Straub. I think it was super scary. I was in 2nd grade. I shouldn't have read that book because the bed caught on fire. And every night in my prayer set, because I had a list of things, like a litany of things I prayed for, I would say, please do not let my bed catch on fire, or my mom, or my dad, or anybody else that I know or could possibly know, or who are good people. So if you just put in that like disclaimer, it kind of helps. Just be all inclusive. That was my theory as a second grader, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, please don't let me die tonight, mommy die tonight, daddy die tonight, or anybody else I know or love, or anybody else who I know or love who knows or loves anyone die tonight.
See, that's the disclaimer, all that love stuff.
Yeah,
You didn't mention Uncle Frank.
I do have an Uncle Frank. I have a great
Oh, you
Uncle
do?
Frank.
I was
Yeah,
just
I
kidding.
do.
I was just
He's
kidding.
a wonderful man.
Sorry. Bad pick on the name.
All right, Shaun, are you going to talk about something so I can look up something for Carden?
Oh, no, I got that. Lucky Rabbit.
Oh, you do? Talk about it, man.
I
Talk
got it
about
right
it.
here. Lucky Rabbit. I'm reading verbatim, and the link is in the podcast notes.
And for those of you who can't see Carden's comment because you're listening, not seeing this visually, Carden asked, "What's up with Lucky Rabbit's foots, though? Disturbing." Agreed, Carden. Agreed.
Lucky Rabbit foot keychains, whether real or faux, excuse me, are popular symbols of luck. The original legend says that the left hind foot of a rabbit that is captured in a cemetery at night can ward off evil magic. A
cemetery?
I mean, it's pretty specific. It's the left hind foot in a cemetery at night. Luckily, we don't have to go.
How do they get the rabbits in the cemetery?
Traps, the traps that snap close on their feet. So you got a 50% chance of getting the right foot every time. Okay. Luckily, we don't have to go through that much effort to have a fun rabbit's foot charm for inspiration.
What are you reading from, baby?
TheBalanceEveryday.com.
Thank you. Okay.
There, I sent you those notes in your Gmail. There are fake rabbit's feet for sale if you don't want to harm a living bunny. You can also try sewing a lucky felt bunny for yourself or learn to draw your own lucky bunnies. Do you know how many three-legged bunnies there are running around in this world?
I think all the bunnies die.
No, not from one foot. You cauterize that and you're all set.
You really think that the people who are getting them for their feet actually take the time to cauterize it?
No, because they're probably getting them for meat too. I think the feet's a side business.
The poor bunnies.
And besides, who uses Lucky Rabbit? Lucky Rabbit feet seems like it's outdated tradition.
I don't know. My hat's all flustered. But yes.
You look great, Gilligan.
Oh my God. If we weren't on a podcast, I'd totally give you the finger right now.
You just call me Skipper.
Oh, Skipper. Do you think Gilligan and Skipper had a thing? I feel like they did.
No, but I can't tell you why on the air.
All right.
Has to do with Gilligan, though.
Okay.
I think he was gifted.
Okay.
Anyways.
So I guess Gilligan was a little lucky.
What do you got? What else you got for luck, baby?
All right. So walking under a ladder.
I need in you.
So walking under a ladder for my my Grammy and my aunties was like a really big deal thing, like the end of the world, and it actually has some roots in Christian symbolism.
Yeah,
which I don't think we all knew, right? So all right. So according to artsandcultures.google.com, the Holy Trinity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit led to an association of the number 3 with something sacred. The triangle with its 3 sides came to be regarded as sacred as well. And a ladder often forms a triangle. So naturally, to walk under that ladder would be to destroy the sanctity of the Trinity and thus incur punishment. And then, like, if you go back in time, a lot of people believe that the ladder looked like a gallows, right? And then, of course, like, people can fall from it. And then the Egyptians thought that, like, you could accidentally see a god going up or down a ladder, and you, for some reason, didn't want to accidentally see a god like Brynn and Annabus. So they avoided it. And so I don't know how they made the pyramids, basically, if they had no ladders.
They didn't use ladders. They just built like earthen ramps and stuff.
Maybe.
And then if the pyramid was done, they unbuilt it all the earth.
I don't know.
And moved it.
Do you know where the broken mirror superstition comes from?
I do not.
You
do
don't?
you? No.
Vaguely. So there's this myth in ancient Greece of Narcissus, right?
Yeah.
And like there's a belief that if there's this crack in the mirror, like it breaks your physical charm, or it could trap your soul inside that crack. And then the ancient Romans were like, 7 years of bad luck, because only really poor health would even make that mirror crack.
What?
And yeah, and the whole number 7 thing, that is from Romans believed that a life cycle of sickness and renewal lasted 7 years.
Oh.
So like if you saw a broken mirror, you were headed toward like this death spiral, and you either died or took you like 7 years to pull out of it.
Huh.
And so I avoid this by having no mirrors in the house.
We do have mirrors in the house.
I don't look in them though.
But none that are easily breakable. You're so funny. How do you feel about the ladder? How do you feel about the ladder thing?
What do you mean? How do I feel about it?
Because I have intentionally walked under ladders before, just disprove.
Are you Satan? Are you trying to ruin the sanctity of the Holy Trinity?
Well, no, but I never knew that belief.
I would be so mad at you.
I can't possibly believe it because the bottom of the pyramid is the bottom of the triangle is the ground, not part of the ladder. So how can it make a real triangle?
Oh my gosh, logical one.
I'm just saying.
Do you want to end the podcast with some more flattery? I like
mirrors.
That.
I don't mess with, baby.
You don't mess with the mirrors?
If I break a mirror, that's one less opportunity I get to see you.
What? You only see me?
Or your reflection. No, I don't only. But if you have a mirror in the room, I get to see you twice at least.
You tried so hard. You tried so hard, so I feel like you should have some points for that.
Don't crap on me just because it was above your intellect. Come on.
Oh, it was not. Oh, you just lost 8,000 points with that above your intellect crap.
Well, you didn't get the PhD level connection.
No way. It was not a PhD level. Give me some Derrida and some Hegel, and I'll be like, oh wow, that's hot. But that was not
the more mirrors in the room, the more I get to see your lovely face, baby.
And now it is time to end our podcast
with sincere
what?
Meaningful words.
Are you going to give us some sincere?
I just did about
words?
The mirrors, baby.
Can you thank everyone for listening, buddy? Can you be like, hey?
I can do anything you tell me to, honey.
Oh, I wish.
Thank you so much for putting up with our crap and listening. I had a wonderful time.
He did. You can tell because his face is redder.
Hopefully Carrie did too.
It was nice to hang out with everybody.
It was fantastic.
All right. Our extra shout outs this week go to Shaun. Shaun's ego. Shaun's narcissistic ego. Shaun's schmooziness. Shaun's player personality. Shaun and his ability to be smarmy.
I don't have a narcissistic ego. Everything else I agree with, but not that.
But also for reals, our higher level patrons, Autumn, Claire, Jen, Pam, Joan, Nancy, Sam, Tony, Shay, Rachel. Thank you all so much for supporting us over there. And I have a new book coming out soon.
July 1st, man.
Yeah, It's called It's
Commit.
called Those
We'll
Who
get it done.
Survived. We'll
We'll get it
commit.
done.
We'll get it done. We're a little
Like
worried.
12 more chapters left to write. We'll be all right.
No. Bye,
Thank
Dee.
you
It was
all.
great to see you.
Thank you all for
It was great to
devoting
see
your
you,
time.
Cheryl. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Have a fantastic weekend.
Hopefully, we'll still be married by next Friday.
Happy Father's Day, John and Doug. And anybody
Steve.
else that might be a father. Steve. Oh, I forgot about Steve.
Poor Steve.
The stall violator.
Good night and thank you. Oh, my word. I'm going to outro now.
I was waiting.
Thank you for listening to Loving the Strange. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, embrace the strange. New episodes every Saturday, live streaming Fridays. Go get your strange on, friends. Thanks for listening.